Can reforms to end-of-service benefits regulations help foster regional capital markets? A UAE focus. Today, UAE annual payroll in 2016 reached 120 billion US dollars, up 65% from 2010. Expats with annual income of 16,000 US dollars or more have earned 41 billion US dollars in total compensation, 23 billion US dollars as basic salaries. Total UAE workforce 5.4 million, 4.6 million are expatriates, 85%. Nearly 66%, or 3 million working expats in UAE, are without any sort of retirement planning other than their EoSB entitlements. So what is EoSB? Upon resignation, employees are entitled for a gratuity calculated according to formula which considers the length of employment and last drawn basic salary. EoSB feature is a common international practice that the UAE and other GCC countries adopted in the 1980s. Furthermore, the UAE labor law says, Article 141, should the establishment have a retirement system, an insurance, or any similar scheme, the worker entitled to a pension may choose between such pension, the prescribed gratuity, or the money entitled thereto from the retirement system, or under the insurance scheme, whichever is better. Food for thought 1. Facts. A 2010 study has estimated that the combined GCC EoSB liabilities could increase to 75 billion US dollars by 2020. In 2016, a study estimated AUMs of GCC mutual funds industry at 36 billion US dollars. Opportunities. EoSB liabilities provisioning by UAE employers is expected to grow by 2 billion US dollars annually. Backtracking to year 2000, the EoSB liabilities value in UAE can be estimated today at 35 billion US dollars. Where, how EoSB liabilities held? Could there be potential risks? 83% of companies surveyed do not set aside specific assets to cover EoSB. It's only a matter of time before governments in the region will introduce mandatory funding requirements in relation to EoSB liabilities. Local capital markets highlights. On average, retail investors account to nearly 80% of all volumes across the GCC region. On the contrary, institutional investors account for the majority of trading in developed markets. Growth in new IPOs is lackluster. Pensions throughout the GCC represents 21% of all AUMs and primarily funded by GCC nationals. In developed markets, the average is 37%. Allocation of foreign institutional investors to GCC capital markets is still insignificant. Food for thought 2. If 6%, global average savings towards pensions, of UAE expats' payroll is directed towards new, locally domiciled pensions, it means 4.4 billion US dollars annually. In theory, we have approximately 2 billion US dollars worth of EoSB liabilities accrued by employers, and approximately 2.4 billion US dollars in employee contributions annually. And let's not forget a gradual redeployment of the estimated 35 billion US dollars already on employers' balance sheets. For example, 10 of the biggest corporations in the UAE have a combined EoSB liabilities worth of approximately 5.2 billion dirhams. Benefits to markets, economy. Promoting and fostering the concept of institutionally managed assets, enhancing the funds and asset management industry, boosting and stabilizing UAE GCC equity markets with fresh payroll cash being deployed monthly, providing similar liquidity to other asset classes such as fixed income instruments and the development of instruments such as REITs and ETFs, fostering confidence by foreign institutional investors to deploy investments in local capital markets. Governments would benefit from additional market liquidity to fund infrastructure projects, reduce capital outflows by expats. Benefits to employers, gradual reduction of liabilities and provisioning, Employee loyalty and retention. Attracts top talent. It can effectively reduce the amount of payout an employer need to make when funding happens annually versus when employee leaves. Provides a more sound and efficient accounting budgeting policies. Benefits to employees. Raising the savings rate in retirement planning amongst GCC expats. 7 out of 10 expat workers in the Gulf do not have any form of pension. Contributions and funding are professionally invested to provide adequate returns to beneficiaries versus zero investment growth. The employees' funds are safeguarded in the event of an employer's insolvency. Tax reporting enhancement to those who have tax liabilities in their home country. Challenges. Growth in pensions can outpace growth in the securities market. Thus, concentration issues may arise or asset bubbles may form. Initiatives to encourage new IPOs in light of increased liquidity, although we feel there could potentially be a repatriation of local companies listed abroad when local market depth is present. Governments should further investigate the concept through research and studies to fully realize the benefits of such reforms. For example, the UAE labor law allows employers to substitute EoSB with other pension schemes. Final thoughts. The GCC economies and its capital markets signifies the flagship for the rest of the Arab world. Reforms to certain regulations in the GCC, with an aim to bring prosperity and efficiencies, should positively impact the whole region in general. GCC, after all, is a prime source of employment and wealth for many MENA citizens and others. Providing ordinary employed expats with a professionally managed and disciplined pension schemes that, even if partially invested in local capital markets, shall bridge an important gap towards creating a more efficient and liquid capital markets.